shall we continue the trip and go and see the updated Oamaru? Why not? Yeah, another Just Flying episode, and we'll continue up the South Island coast, starting from where we landed last time on this trip, which is XNZDU Dunback. Wave goodbye to the sheep. Yeah, if you're a regular, you will have heard me say that I did do this leg of this particular journey, but didn't really like the look of the destination airfield, or Oamaru, or the surrounding areas to be more precise. The stuff there, combined with the way I used to build things, it was looking a bit dated to my eyes. So I've had a redo of a lot of that, with the tree lines, houses and things like that, and yeah, it's an improvement. Yeah, you'll see for yourself what it looks like when we get there, and you can also really see for yourself as I've now replaced the old NZOU airport in the mega folder, so you can download a copy of this new one from there. Yes, nothing too weird happened over the last few days. Oh, we had a surprise visitor at my local airfield though, Birmingham, EGBB. Yeah, the government of the United Kingdom something or other. Yeah, most people have heard of the American one, Air Force One. This is basically Royal Air Force One. So yeah, we're better. We've got an extra word. Yeah, it's an Airbus A330, which the Royal Air Force have a few of those, mostly converted to air-to-air refuelling tankers and things like that, and they then get redesignated as a KC Voyager. Not sure about this one though, as this is essentially still a passenger plane. Probably does change, but I'm not sure. It may keep its A330 title. Yeah, I'm intrigued now. I'll look that up when we land, and the answer will appear by magic on the screen now. Yeah, but the other thing I have noticed about Birmingham Airport, and I've been noticing over the last, well, few weeks and possibly months really, I've told you this before, but there's a guy who does live streams at Birmingham, and if I'm in the house doing something else on my computer, like scenery making for instance, I've got a multi-screen computer. There's 3 screens actually, and sometimes if he's broadcasting, I put his Birmingham live stream on one of the screens. It's kind of like a bit of background noise really. I'm not concentrating and watching his stream, but yeah, I have a quick glance over when things are landing, and all enjoyable enough. But something I have noticed is we usually have 2 flights per day from Turkish Airlines, and if the weather's a bit rough, Turkish might not be the single worst landing of the day, but you can pretty much guarantee that Turkish Airlines landings, they're not pretty. Even on nice days, you know, no wind, cav okay, that final few seconds or so, it's regularly a bit wobbly, trying to chase the centre line. It's almost has the feel of overcorrecting and then overcorrecting the first overcorrection. Yeah, smooth and gentle, it's not. Yeah, obviously there are pilots who are better than others, but almost always with Turkish, and therefore I'm assuming lots of different pilots, yeah, it's not great. And does make me wonder if there's some kind of, I don't know, cultural sort of reasoning behind this. It also reminds me of a documentary I saw years ago, where it was a British guy, but he spent some time as a training captain. Might have been Asiana, but I think it was Korean Air, but one of those two in Korea anyway. And this guy's worked in a few places, a few different countries, so he has got to experience people from various nationalities. And that's a big lump of cloud on the ortho there, isn't it? Looks like there might be a few bits here. That could be something to try and fix one day. Yeah. Anyway, so this training captain, he was saying that Korean pilots, in his experience, generally don't deal very well with crosswinds. Fine at loads of other stuff. A crosswind where you're trying to play with and coordinate all three control surfaces at the same time, Koreans were not the best. I mean, okay, there's always a chance he was being racist, but I really don't think so. So, the Koreans not the best with crosswind conditions, according to this guy in the documentary. Turkish more wobbly on short finals compared to most aircraft that I've seen land at Birmingham. So yeah, I don't know, is there something cultural perhaps? Something ingrained very early in school days, or perhaps something like a little differences in basic training when you're first learning to fly? I suppose it might not be anything at all, to be honest, and it's almost some kind of confirmation bias thing. Just thinking about this out loud, a plausible reason could be that I've seen a couple of genuinely bad Turkish landings, and now I've got that in the back of my head, and I'm watching for it and being more critical on purpose. Maybe subconsciously, but still doing it nonetheless. That could be worth a little experiment next time there's a Birmingham Airport live stream on. Come up with a scoring criteria. General stability on approach, proximity to the centre line, the butteriness of the touchdown. Yeah, perhaps another airline is even worse, but I've never really been paying attention hard enough to notice that. So yep, science, let's do some science. Although talking about that, I do like a bit of science, and more specifically astrophysics, space in general, so the YouTube algorithm does throw quite a few of those kind of recommendations up for me. And it happens with all genres of videos, but with these there's lots of clickbait things with titles like NASA is shocked to the core by the latest images from the James Webb Telescope. Yeah, obviously NASA isn't shocked, and the video content is something we knew about already, and JWST might have just simply confirmed it, or at very best it's something new which is mildly interesting. Sort of like thinking you had 5 slices of bacon left in the packet and then you discover you actually had 6. So, never going to happen, but it does make me think how much better things would be if there was some kind of punishment. If peer review of your video finds it to be bullshit, then future uploads have a thumbnail automatically changed to something saying clickbait warning, or you just have your channel shut down for a month. So yeah, well, obviously way too many people would be needed to police that. The system's open to abuse, so not going to happen, but would be lovely if it did. But enough of that, as here's a new airport or upgraded surroundings to an airport. Yeah, you can see the tree lines that I've now put in, which expand much further out than they did before and seem to fit better with what's here. Yeah, the far side of the airfield, to the north, there's a river, and I've filled in the same kind of thing up that far as well, up to that river. So, yeah, I prefer the look of it now to how it was. As for the airport itself, that did get a custom terminal building at some point not too long ago. The rest of the buildings, hangars, things like that are just generic library items, so probably not realistic in their look, but it's stuff of about the right size and about the right place, and that seems good enough to me. Yeah, my apologies to Oamaru, but I just don't think it's big enough or impressive enough to ever get a full custom redo. My SketchUp endeavours making custom things can probably be better spent in other places. So a little bit of a crosswind, not, well, 7 knots. It's not going to be enough to worry me. Yeah, more interested in pointing out the house just over to the left where Brian lives. Yeah, he's absolutely loving a new book he's got all about anti-gravity. He can't put it down. Yeah, a bit of that visual landmark to help you find the place is the big white area just to the left of the road. That's Oamaru Shingle Supplies. Shingles, you can refer to roofing tiles, a skin and nerve infection, which my uncle had once, and that's not very nice, or what's basically gravel. I'm assuming it's the last option. Yeah, so essentially they dig up parts of New Zealand there and then charge you to move their part of New Zealand to another part of New Zealand. Okay, not too bad. General rule of thumb with the Baron is the banging sound on touchdown. If you don't hear anything, it's a good one. Having that banging sound effect play doesn't necessarily mean a bad landing, but it's likely not going to be making your top 10 list if you can hear the sound effect. Yep, that's not making my top 10 list. Better than Turkish Airlines, but yeah. Right, let's go and park on the apron. Yeah, with the other 2 grass runways here, I probably should have used one of those with the current wind, and I'm sure I would have done in real life, but this is one of those explain only kind of rules that I apply to myself, and I'm pretty certain I'm never going to land on anything other than the asphalt runway here. Yeah, this is the new-ish custom terminal, which looks something like that in real life as far as I know. That will be a nice place to park while I'm waiting for somebody to bring me a bag of gravel over, which we can then take up to Timaru in the next little adventure in this series. Yeah, okay then. Right, that will do. I'll see you again soon. Bye.